Good morning, friends. Now we are discussing network scheduling in module number 4 of the subject operations research. So here, network scheduling. So that is the technique which is helping to determine the sequence of jobs related to a project and the project completion time. So how we are planning the jobs in a sequence. So in a project, and what will be the completion time of all the jobs pertaining to this project. So there will be two planning and control techniques which are using a network. So the jobs will be placed in a network so that it completes the predetermined schedule. So the two techniques use the CPM and PERT. CPM is a critical path method. So it is a statistical algorithm because here we use statistics. So which has a certain beginning and ending time for a project. So program evaluation review technique or project evaluation review technique. So it is also an algorithm. We'll understand here the planning, arranging, scheduling, coordinating and governing the activities of a project. We'll see one by one. So part is appropriate where the projects in which the projects needs the time to complete different activities are not known to us. So the time needed to complete the different activities of the project are not sure, are not certain. On other hand, critical path method. So it is apt, very apt for the projects which are recurring in nature. So the daily jobs what the employees are doing. So here the work is very much routine. So no difficulties will be involved. So critical path method is suitable for such projects where the nature of the job is very common. But when we have the unusual project, the activities involved are very different from the everyday routine work. So in such projects, we go for PERT. So PERT is a technique used to manage uncertain activities of the project, whereas CPM is a statistical technique where it manages the well-defined activities of the project, as I said earlier. So PERT is a technique of planning and controlling time. So here CPM will control the cost of the project and the time involved. PERT is event oriented. CPM is activity oriented. So activity requires some time, but event will not consume any time. So here in PERT, so the technique will be defining the way events involved in the project. So if we take an event, so it is having the beginning and ending. So beginning of the event and ending of the event. So these two events will not consume any time, whereas the gap between the beginning and the end, so that is the process. So the process requires some time. So critical path method will take care of that process which is involving time. So that is activity oriented. Whereas the PERT says whether the event has begun or the event has ended. Then here differences between PERT and CPM. So the model of PERT is probabilistic, whereas CPM it is deterministic. So here PERT will have 3 time estimates, whereas CPM will have 1 time estimate. So PERT will use three time estimate: optimistic, pessimistic, and most likely time. And PERT is appropriate for high precision time. So here, the precision of the time calculated will be very much high. But here CPM will consider the reasonable time estimate. So PERT will manage unpredictable activities, whereas CPM manages predictable activities. Nature of jobs. PERT is the technique which takes care of works of non-repetitive nature, whereas CPM involves the activities which are repetitive in nature. Critical and non-critical activities, there is no differentiation in PERT, but in CPM we have differentiation between critical and non-critical activities. Activities are considered critical when the delay in any of the activity further delays the next upcoming activities, and which results in project delay in project completion time. Such activities will be critical. So if we can take the activities in a relaxed mood, so that even if some time delay happened with these activities, if it does not hamper the project completion time, so such activities will be called as non-critical activities. PERT is suitable for R&D project because here time is considered as money, and CPM is much suitable for non-research projects like civil construction, building of ship bodies, etc. Crashing concept. So not applicable in PERT, whereas CPM it is applicable. Crashing. So if we consider time is very precious than the money, and if we are ready to spare some more funds, but want to reduce the project completion time, so then we are crashing the activities. That is, by investing more money, so the duration of the activities will be reduced, but definitely it results in increase in the cost of project completion time. So PERT will not consider this crashing concept, whereas CPM will consider the crashing concept. But as we said earlier, so it has three time estimates: pessimistic, most likely, and optimistic time. So pessimistic time means it is the time the activity would take if the things did not go well. So because of difficulties in the faced in the activities, so the time taken by the activity will be not predictable. Most likely time. So here it is the best estimate of the activity's duration. So the manager is in between optimistic and pessimistic time. So optimistic time, the time the activity would take if things did go well. So here the manager will consider that there will not be any delays for any reason. So the most reasonable duration he will consider in optimistic time. So if these three time estimates are given, so the mean time will be calculated using this formula: Tp minus 4Tm plus T0 by 6. And variance sigma square is equal to Tp minus T0 by 6 the whole square. So we have to calculate the probability using Z is equal to X minus mu by sigma. So float. So it is an activity representing the excess of the time over its actual duration. Thank you, friends.